Hey guys, Brett Weiss here. Welcome to another video. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. It is super helpful. Just hanging out tonight. Going to talk some crazy YouTube stuff, just the wacky world of YouTube and how unpredictable it is, how some videos that I've done have done really well and some not so well, and some crazy comments I've gotten and some interesting comments. Just going to kick back, hang out, talk. And if you can watch the video, if you want to see Daisy, if not, just treat it like a podcast. Just doing a little vlogging today. The wacky world of YouTube. Let's check it out. I'm going to get to the comments in just a minute, including a wacky one that I'm saving for last. Really strange comment, but kind of funny too. So before I get to the comments, views on YouTube are strange. I never know what a video is going to do. Even if I've done one similar to it previously, the next one, a similar topic, might not do as well, or it might do a whole lot better. Just recently, I did a walkthrough of Hobby Lobby, and kind of an interesting story behind that. The other day, I was hanging out with Ryan, my son. He was going to meet me at Foot Locker. I was up there to shoot some baskets because it was cold and it was kind of dreary and it was rainy. Not a good day to go to the park. And the Foot Locker near my house has a full-size basketball goal, a half court, and they've got several balls that you can play with. It's pretty awesome. Basketballs. Let's keep it clean here, people. And that's a lot of fun. But unfortunately, they had the court reserved on this day, so I couldn't play, so I was kind of bummed. Talked to my son. We decided to meet up because I had the afternoon freed up. And we were going to go to just Christmas shopping and stuff. And he was going to meet me at Foot Locker. And he was about 15 minutes away. So I stepped next door to Hobby Lobby. And it had been years since I'd been in there. And I was surprised by how much retro gaming stuff they had. A lot of wall decorations and things. And I thought, hey, why not just shoot a quick video showing people what you can get at Hobby Lobby retro gaming related. And they have some surprisingly cool stuff. I hadn't been in there in a very long time. And that video is now getting close to 20,000 views, which is just really surprising. It was just me and my phone, no post-production, no editing or anything like that. Just checking out some cool stuff. Maybe it's because of the holidays. You know, people are looking at Christmas gift ideas. Somehow the video got cut up in the YouTube algorithm. But whatever the case, thank all of you for watching. Another video I did recently got over 52,000 views, a walkthrough of the 8-Bit Guys arcade. I was very happy with both of those videos. I've got a ton of new subscribers. Because of that, I just passed 6,000. Now, on the less cheerful note, and just the strangeness of YouTube. So I did a reel, just a short video about the Sega Saturn, just my 5 go-to Sega Saturn games. It's got over 33,000 views. So what's bad about that? Well, nothing. It's pretty cool. And I got a bunch of new subscribers from it. But what's really strange is I did another video, one of my Mount Rushmore videos for, the most iconic Sega Saturn games. That's one of my lowest viewed videos ever. And it's just really strange how a video can get caught up in the YouTube algorithm. The best thing to happen to your video, maybe other than, just a really big time influencer sharing it, is for YouTube to share it. Maybe YouTube sharing it is even better. It's both great. It's awesome when YouTube will suggest your video, when someone's watching someone else's video and they suggest, YouTube just automatically suggests yours. That is awesome. That's the best thing pretty much that can happen to a video. It's pretty awesome, in addition to, just someone really famous that has a lot of followers sharing your stuff. But anyway, that's what happened to my Hobby Lobby and my 8-Bit Guy arcade, the Time Rift video. YouTube shared it and it just went crazy. And the Sega Saturn thing is just really the real, no gameplay footage or anything. It's just me, talking about a few Sega Saturn games that are my go-to games, just less than a minute long. The Mount Rushmore one, you got gameplay footage, you got more information on the games, and it just stalled out. It was just really bizarre. But you know what? That's the wacky world of YouTube. You never know what's going to happen with a video that you upload. And if you're a YouTuber, as long as you're having fun, as long as it's fulfilling, as long as you're making new friends of it, or, you know, making a little money here and there, you know, whatever you're in it for, and however it is benefiting you, if it is benefiting you at all, and you're enjoying it, that's the main thing. Unless you're a big channel, you're not going to make a ton of money, but you're going to have some fun if you like your subject matter. And if you do it, you know, it's kind of a labor of love for me, a hobby at this point, and it's awesome. I just enjoy it. I think it's a lot of fun, and I've met a lot of people doing YouTube, and it's great at conventions too. So no longer do I just, you know, before I started doing YouTube, when I would do conventions, you know, I'd meet readers. Pretty much that was it. The exclusive, you know, that was pretty much it for my fan base, which is great. I love talking to people about retro gaming, people that have read my books, and that's awesome. But now when I do shows, I get a lot of people coming up saying they enjoy my channel, and I meet new people, and that is freaking awesome. So let's get to these comments. I recently did a video about Half Price Books, you know, the big chain. It's in Texas and some other, you know, Oklahoma and a few other states. And they promote themselves as an eco-friendly company that doesn't like to do a lot of waste. They've stopped having plastic bags in their stores. When you buy something, no matter what you buy, they'll just give you a big stack. Occasionally they might go get a box out of the back room if they have an extra one, if you buy a bunch of stuff. But they've stopped using plastic bags, or any bags really, and they promote themselves as an eco-friendly store. But I have found many, you know, Half Price Books, if I'm going by, a few times I've checked the dumpsters just out of curiosity, not to dumpster dive really, just to take a look and see what's going on and what they're throwing out. And I've found some really good stuff in their dumpster, not just the recycled dumpster, but in just the regular dumpster. And on that video that I did recently about them just throwing away perfectly good stuff, I got a comment here from @RyanRebel54, and I'd like to clear up something. He makes some good points, but I want to clear up my position on it. @RyanRebel54 says, I worked at Goodwill for 12 plus years. We wouldn't want the crap they couldn't sell, referring to Half Price Books. It's also more expensive to recycle books than you realize. In fact, it'll probably cost more to recycle it than to throw it away. Okay, I realize actual recycling is expensive, and that maybe it's not, you know, cost effective or whatever. And I'm sure to get it to recycling plants would be expensive. Or, you know, they've got the recycling garbage tubs, you know, and they could use that for books, and they do. Half Price Books does do that. They'll put, you know, a lot of books in the recycling tubs. But my point with this, there's other ways to recycle than actually recycling. And he says his Goodwill wouldn't take the crap that they throw away. Okay, that's true at times. Some, you know, they'll throw away scratched up discs. They'll throw away CDs and DVDs that are just crap, or books that are falling apart. That's perfectly fine. No problem with that. You know, that's not good. You know, it's just worthless. But I've seen time and again, Half Price Books will throw away perfectly good DVDs and Blu-rays if they have too many of them in stock. You know, if they have 8 or 10 copies of something, perhaps, maybe they'll throw away 3 of them. But I have time and time again, I have seen, you know, over the years, you know, periodically I'll check their dumpsters. They'll throw away really good stuff, and I'll look through the stuff. They'll have, you know, Blu-rays and DVDs that not only are the discs not scratched up, the sleeve is in good condition, the case is in good condition. A lot of times they'll even have the inserts, and it's just a bummer. They're throwing away perfectly good stuff. And they could just simply box all this stuff up over, you know, a few weeks or however long. I know they get a lot of stuff in, but there are just, you know, pretty much all the Half Price bookstores have thrift stores within driving distance. Just box this stuff up and take it over. Have the manager and an employee, you know, if I get where the logistics of this could get a little tricky. You don't want, you know, someone driving off, an employee with a bunch of stuff from your store. You could get kind of a tricky situation where maybe there could be a scam going on where they're carting off perfectly good stuff. Oh, I'm throwing this away. Yeah, what you want to do is get a couple of your employees, maybe a manager and an assistant manager or whatever, and have them work as a team, and just the stuff that they're legitimately going to get rid of, that they have no use for, that they can't sell, that they got too many of, donate it if it's in perfectly good condition. Keep it out of the landfills. So anyway, Ryan Rebel 54, I appreciate you commenting, and I hope that clears it up a little bit, because they do throw away perfectly good stuff that could be used at thrift stores. And most thrift stores, have some charitable function. They give at least a portion of their proceeds to some charity. So yeah, that would be much better than putting this stuff in landfills. At my Hobby Lobby video that I mentioned that's got almost 20,000 views, at Not Much Here said, sorry, that's art, not retro. Now, a lot of the stuff in Hobby Lobby that's so cool are wall hangings, wall decorations, pictures, and things like that. And yeah, it's art, it's prints and things like that, vinyl. And I just think that's kind of a funny comment, because it's retro, because there's Pac-Man and Super Mario Kart and Sonic the Hedgehog. Those are definitely retro, so I don't know what he's talking about, that the person's talking about. It's not vintage, but it is retro. And yeah, they're not games themselves, but they are games adjacent. So that was just kind of an odd comment, but I appreciate Not Much Here offering it, because I like all comments unless they're hateful or extremely rude. Another comment I want to talk about, I did a reel on The Wizard, the movie with Fred Savage, about the the big Nintendo competition, Super Mario Brothers 3. It's basically an ad for that game and for the Power Glove, but it is a pretty good movie. It's a lot of fun. At Pork Chop, P-A-U-R-K Chop, Pork Chop, says, anyone that says this isn't a great movie needs to get their head examined. Now, my little reel talks about what a stupid line, the Double Dragon line, is kind of infamous, where Fred Savage is watching the girl play Double Dragon. You scored 50,000 on Double Dragon? Like, that's some great score. It's terrible. And it's these little things like that that just require just a little bit of research for the filmmakers, to provide a little bit of realism there. Gamers are going to call that out instantly. 50,000 on Double Dragon, not a high score, and Fred Savage is super impressed. So I made fun of it a little bit in the reel, just having some fun. I like the movie a lot, and I don't think it's great, though. I think aspects of it are very good. It is cheesy, but it's cheesy good fun, and I love all the video game references, and it's a good road movie. It's a good quest film, California, going to California and all that. It's a fun movie, and I've seen it many times. I've only seen Schindler's List once, which is actually a great movie, but I've seen The Wizard many times because it's entertaining. Sometimes there's a difference between a movie that's purely entertaining and one that's great. Schindler's List is hard to watch, but man, The Wizard, watch it again and again. As a matter of fact, my son Ryan and my wife Carice, she wasn't super thrilled with the movie, but Ryan and I were cracking up over Dear Santa, where the kid accidentally spells it. He's dyslexic and he calls it Dear Satan, so that his Christmas letter ends up going to Satan instead of Santa, and it's got Jack Black. It is so funny in all the wrong ways. It's a terrible movie. It's inappropriate for kids, but it seems like a kid's movie. It's just crazy, but it was fun. It's definitely not as good as The Wizard. Anyway, it's awful but fun. Anyway, if you see Dear Santa, if you've seen that movie, let me know in the comments. All right, next up, I did a video on Tommy Tallarico, the former CEO of Intellivision, about him returning to social media, and he posted a long post on Facebook about how he is now a backgammon champion, and kind of did a little bragging montage about that, which is sort of fine in general, because most people, including myself, will post accomplishments or positive things we've done, or great things that have happened to us, or cool vacations we go on social media, which is fine. Awards you've won, and that's great. But being absent from social media for so long, and so many people upset with him because of the Amico fiasco, just coming back with a big bragging montage, that really a lot of his friends and apologists found that to be really exciting to see him back on. But I was just kind of like, okay. And I did a little video about that. I'm glad he's doing okay. I don't wish ill will on the guy, but he did, screw the pooch, so to speak, to use a line from Dear Santa, when it comes to the Amico. So at Steve16181, he commented on this video because my comment was, should Tommy Tallarico, in my video, should he apologize? And Steve16181 says he should apologize for the Amico fiasco, all the lies and taking credit for other people's work. That refers to the music he's done or hasn't done, and as some people have said, at least some of it. But you, meaning me, should apologize for advertising it without a second thought and not doing background research like an actual journalist. I was very excited about the Amico, especially early on, but when things started going south, as I've told you guys, I canceled my pre-order and I did a handful of videos on mistakes Intellivision made, the people at Intellivision, namely Tommy Tallarico and, a few others with the company, the mistakes they made, the missteps, and just how they put the cart before the horse, and they spent so much money before they had any kind of prototype or any kind of production on the console going. They wasted money on that office space and merch and just everything. It was it turned into just a nightmare. But, I feel like I was screwed over as much as anybody as far as being excited about the console, pre-ordering it and being promised things. And, yeah, I think Tommy should apologize, but I don't think people that got screwed over excited about the console should apologize. Anyhow, you may differ. Let me know in the comments. Now, this is the crazy comment. This one's kind of struck me as kind of funny and just kind of odd. And for everybody who comments here, I'm not really trying to throw you under the bus. I just find these interesting and kind of comical at times and just kind of just odd at times. Sometimes I get some really interesting and insightful comments. Sometimes I get some that are just puzzling. And this next one is quite puzzling. But it wasn't rude or anything, so it stayed. I don't delete comments that disagree with me unless they are rude or hateful or by rude and hateful people. So for my Antique Mall booth, where I do a walkthrough, it's like a half hour just showing you guys. I've got a booth in an antique mall in Fort Worth, Texas, Haltom City, a suburb of Fort Worth, but it's basically Fort Worth, where I show you guys my Antique Mall booth, where I have trading cards and video games and Beanie Babies and records and all that fun stuff, action figures, Hot Wheels. And I did a walkthrough for two reasons. One, to just awareness, to create awareness for people that want to come check it out, maybe buy something or just check out Lone Star Antiques in general. It's an awesome antique mall, and maybe check out my booth while you're there. And just to show you guys that enjoy my channel and my content, what else I do, what other side hustles I have, and just how I've got this cool antique mall booth, and I thought a lot of you guys would just like to see what's in the booth and how it's laid out and all that kind of stuff. But the real Radical Reggie 091 says, now this is not Radical Reggie, the Metal Jesus Crew guy. This is just a guy that uses a sort of his name. He says, it's definitely, I mean, this is not a she. I mean, come on. This seems like a poor attempt to drum up sales at your booth. Wrong place. So this person thinks that my channel is the wrong place to promote my antique booth and to show you guys the cool retro games and other items in my antique booth, that it's the wrong place. That is a really odd take. Now, I get comments like this from time to time, and I know other YouTubers and authors and content creators and people trying to, promote themselves or sell things or whatever get these comments too. They will say, they will sort of like criticize me or sometimes even try to, just almost harass me for wanting to sell my books or for wanting clicks on my videos or wanting my name out there or wanting to, just be successful at being an author and at being a YouTuber and all that kind of stuff, which is just really, really bizarre. It's kind of like the whole criticism of, having a Patreon or criticism of asking people to subscribe. When you do a YouTube video, a lot of times there will be the little subscribe animation, and my edited videos have that. And I've heard people criticize that they hate to see the little subscribe animation on videos. It's just really bizarre because, I enjoy YouTube. It's fun, but it's also nice to make a little money as I go. It's also nice to get, more subscribers as I go. It's nice to get, a little recognition is fun. Nothing wrong with that. I love getting, like when I'm doing conventions and someone comes by and said, hey, I enjoy your channel, and I meet people new, you know, some new people, make new friends, and just make some connections that way, or just simply talk retro gaming because they recognize me from my channel. That is all cool. Nothing wrong with that. And for people to be critical of that, it's just a little odd. Now, yeah, can you come across as a little too pushy trying to sell stuff? Have I done that from time to time? Maybe, probably maybe early in my writing career, I was maybe a little more obnoxious about that, but I've tried to, you know, I'm definitely going to promote my stuff, but hopefully not to an annoying degree. But however you feel about that, let me know in the comments. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you do not know, I'm the author of the 100 Greatest Console Video Games series, the Omnibus series, and all that kind of stuff. Classic home video game series, lots of retro gaming books and other books. Now, guys, I want you to comment on the comments. Let me know here in this video what you think about any of the comments I mentioned, what you think about the just strangeness of how certain videos get picked up and just go crazy. Maybe you're a YouTuber and you've had some videos perform really well that you didn't expect to. Maybe you've had some videos that you put a lot of time and effort into, and you just poured your heart and soul into them, and you did a lot of editing and added all this cool, you know, bells and whistles and gameplay footage and everything, and it just sat there flat. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And, you know, if you have any tips for YouTubers or anything, just comment away. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Daisy thanks you. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Yes, she knows her name. And, you know, we'll talk to you in another video. I really appreciate you guys. And your comments I love them. As long as they're polite, respectful, and all that stuff, feel free to agree or disagree. Just give me your honest thoughts, and we can do this like adults. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We will talk to you in another video.